Hi everybody, I'm Jared Pike. This is Shell Point Today for Thursday, April 18th. On today's show, Renee Maxwell shares the opportunities available in the Pavilion Auxiliary this summer. We'll also visit the Beady Bead Club, who make tremendous jewelry items out of very small building blocks. But first, a quick rundown of all the exciting events taking place today. If you're a retired doctor or nurse, we're offering you the chance to talk shop with some of your colleagues right here at Shell Point with a Get to Know Your Neighbor event for all lifesavers happening at 10 a.m. in the Grand Cypress Room. Reminisce about stories from med school or share about your favorite patients. Whether you were a doctor, a nurse, a missionary doctor, army medic, paramedic, or any other kind of lifesaver, we want you to be there to meet your fellow residents. Again, this fun social event happens at 10 a.m. in the Grand Cypress Room. And then, tonight, you'll see and hear old-time radio like you've never experienced it before with Shell Point's own theater and its performance of On the Air. Spot has been working hard on its adaptation of old-time radio shows, and it culminates tonight as they bring their performance to the stage of the church auditorium at 7:15 p.m. It's a free performance, and all are welcome. Also today, the Shell Point Group is taking a trip to the Potomac Bead Company in downtown Fort Myers. You know, beads are big business, and making jewelry with beads is one of the most rewarding art forms out there. In fact, we have a Shell Point group that does this every week. They're called the Beady Bead Club, and if you've never seen beading in action, then you're in for a treat. Let's see how easy it is to get your own beady eyes to make beautiful jewelry.
I've heard this group called a sort of a summer camp for seniors.
Just heard about a class, and I thought, oh, that sounded like fun. So I went, tried it, and I said, I can do this. And then when I came here to Shell Point and I heard about the Beady Beaders, I said, well, that's for me. And it's a wonderful group. We have a great time here.
Well, I'm making a bracelet now, and it's going to be like that. When it's finished, needs another inch or so it can go over the hand. It's like a miracle. You have small stones, little beads, glass beads, and you have larger ones. And then you use the peyote stitch, and it twirls itself. Being small and large beads, they twirl themselves. But it relaxes me to do this. I really find that when I want just to sit and relax, and I can think in my head and just do it, and this particular stitch is circular, so it sort of never ends, and you just keep going and going, and I find it very relaxing.
I go down to the pot shop and I make clay beads, roll them in my hands, and put toothpicks through them, dry them for 2 or 3 or 4 days, depending on the weather, and then I take them down and bisque fire them in the kiln. And then I bring them home and I glaze them and decorate them and drill them with a Dremel drill. Drill the hole and all around the opening to make sure there's no glaze. Then I take them back and final fire them. Then I start making jewelry.
Some people like to make the little chokers, and some like to go a little longer. And this lets you know with what beads you have, the ideas you have in design, just how far you can go. And really pretty essential, I think, if you're going to do necklaces particularly.
We need several different types of tools. We need something that's really good for clipping, and this would be for like when we work with memory wire, we really need a strong cutting tool. And then we have what's called a crimping tool, where we make these little crimps that hold the wire tight so that it won't slip out and open up and you won't have your beads all over the floor. Then of course we always need, these are not needle nose, these are the round nose pliers. We do also need needle nose pliers. And I work with wire. It depends on the weight of the bead that you're working with. For instance, I have a heavy stone here, so I would want it on wire. I wouldn't trust the thread. Okay, I would feel much more comfortable with it on wire.
When I make earrings, they always match my line dance outfits. But I didn't bring any with me today.
That type of blue is what I like. And I like blues and greens, and that's what this one's going to be, is blue and green together.
This is memory wire. It actually looks like a slinky, doesn't it? And what I do is I make bracelets out of those. and 3 turns of one of these. In fact, I can probably show you right now. 1, 2, 3. We'll just cut that right about there. And now you can just wind the beads right on there, and then to put it on, just wrap it around your wrist. And you don't need, it never loses its shape, and you don't need a clasp. Okay, so it's much easier to deal with, especially for when you've got problems with your hands, or even children. These are great for children. Slip them right on. They don't have to work with the clasp.
We all here do something very, very different. I couldn't anymore do what Joan Walton does, and then people think this is hard, this is fun for me. So I mean, it just all depends on what you like.
We all use our books, get ideas, share them. It's kind of a cooperative, interactive thing. There's a lot to be said for the group. In addition to the fun and the learning, I think we play off each other's strengths. Some people have a real feeling for color, others for design. Some, like Joan, who you've already interviewed, understands patterns and can unravel them, as it were, and she has helped others of us.
And everybody's very sharing with their ideas and their skill levels. So they encourage us that are just starting.
We do start with basics, and we can teach you to do anything depending on what you want. If you want to make earrings, we can teach you how to make earrings. Or if you want to make bracelets or necklaces, we can show you how to do anything.
Yes, if I could learn how to do it, they can. And one of our other members isn't here today, but she came in. I don't think she had any. Did Pat have any experience? No.
No. No, she didn't even know what to buy or.
Right. Yeah. So if
I
someone
didn't have any experience when I came. None.
It's one of the nice things about the Shell Point groups. They make you feel quite comfortable.
If I don't have these people to help me, I never finish anything. I have to start something, and then I run out of beads, and start something else, and they have these nice people help me.
There is no problem of getting any help from someone.
When you consult anybody else in the group, they give you all kinds of encouragement.
I made the necklace last night at home, and then I brought it down because I haven't gotten the clasps on them yet, and sometimes I need a little help with that. And there's one person down here at the end of the line that is an expert at doing that.
Once you buy beads, it's an ongoing thing, because you buy enough for one project, but you always have some left over. So that starts another project. And then, of course, you buy more beads. So you end up with an awful lot of beads. Some people have old jewelry that is out of style, but with a little jazzing up, we can bring it back into style, and we can show them how, and they have a brand new piece to wear.
You can make it and wear it yourself, or make it and give it to somebody.
We taught one gal, she went on to make so many earrings. She's given them to all her children, grandchildren. I'm sure she's going to have a lot to sell also.
Oh, I gave them to children, grandchildren, every relative. And it gave me an excuse to keep going. Everybody's here because they want to be. And that's a wonderful thing. We all come because we enjoy it.
For me, it's a lot of fun.
Every Monday at 2 o'clock in the Oak Room, we are here. And some just come for therapy. We just sit and chat. We solve all the world's problems.
By now, you should have received your brand new Summer Academy brochure in the mail. Today begins the sign-up process for all Academy classes. So choose the events and classes that catch your fancy, and then sign up in one of 3 different ways. Fill out the form and send it in to the service desks. Drop by or call them at 454-2282 or 454-2054. Or you can also sign up for classes online. Just visit www.shellpoint.net and click on Academy. Terry Kolath is excited about the opportunities this summer, and not just in the Academy. The Pavilion Auxiliary also has volunteer opportunities for everything from pushing wheelchairs to arranging flowers. We talked to Renee Maxwell to learn more.
Hello, I'm Terry Kolath, and I am here to talk about some opportunities in your skilled nursing facility. the Larson Pavilion. My guest today is Renee Maxwell of Harbor Court, and Renee serves as the first vice president on the Auxiliary Board of Directors. Thanks for joining me, Renee.
You're welcome. I'm glad to be here.
Now, your role as first vice president gives you the opportunity to serve as a membership chairman for the Auxiliary.
I do, and that's a special spot, and I really, really enjoy it. I try to spend time with each and every one of our chairmen and co-chairmen several times throughout the year. We meet, we have meetings with them, and just a good backup of support.
Now, our committee chairman absolutely needs the support. They have big, big jobs.
They do. It's a constant support. There are people that are coming in, people that are moving in, so it's a constant working with new people that are interested in the different committees. We meet them at our orientation. We explain, what the different committees are. Right now, we presently have 18, so there are many, many choices and many opportunities of interest. So we try to keep them informed of that. And then once they see what they might like to do and volunteer with, then we're right there to help them and get them involved in what they choose and how they want to spend their time, and as much time as they want.
Well, the reason I asked you here today, Renee, is because summertime's coming. Summertime is my favorite time of year here at Shell Point. And it's also a time of extra opportunity for our residents. Many of our ongoing activities stop for the summertime, and the people who are here all summer are oftentimes looking for some meaningful use of their time. And I can't think of anything more meaningful.
You're right.
Than your time helping our residents in the skilled nursing
You're
facility.
Right. And some of our people that live here do go to other places for the summer, so we lose some of our numbers. But it gives us an opportunity then to spread out and see what's available and maybe sometimes come on a weekend and help out because our volunteers volunteer on the weekends also. Sure. So our committees are moving through all the time. And it's a good time. It slows down. And there again, you can come even as a couple or however you want and help out in any committee that you feel like.
So we're giving our residents several opportunities right now, you and I, with this interview. We're saying there's some things you might want to take on as a new volunteer project. There's some things you might want to take on for the summer and just help for the summer. Let's talk a little bit about the committees that have some openings. I know, for instance, that we have a salon in the pavilion, and we're looking for people to put on our activities committee who would be stationed right in the salon and greet people as they come in, maybe push them back and forth to their rooms. What other openings do we have?
We have many, as you mentioned, moving people back and forth. One of our very needed one is a part of the activities is our wheelchair pushers. So often we have little things that come up, like going fishing or going over to the church or several different things that come up a few times a year where we really need some people to help push our residents from the different floors to those different things that are happening. We just had a large session at Easter. We brought as many as we could down to Easter lunch, and that was very nice. But we do need people for that.
And we keep a list of people who can be called upon for those special needs of getting everybody.
We do. And it's once in a while, and we get who we can at that time.
Super. Now, let's talk a little bit about our flower committee. I think that would be a lot of fun.
We have so many people here, and we have so many wonderful gardens going on all the time in our garden club. So maybe some of those people might be interested in coming over to join our flower committee. It's a very nice one. We do a lot of flower arranging after the memorial services. A lot of the flowers come over to the pavilion, and we go through those and make different bouquets that go around throughout the pavilion, and that's very nice. And then we also have flowers that come in for certain people, and we help with those. So that's an ongoing committee all the time.
And then resident relations. Let's talk a little bit about them.
Resident relations is another committee that is very interesting. We have, as soon as new people come into the pavilion, usually, on all the floors, but a lot of times coming into the first floor, they take the time, they have a regular sheet that they use, and they have an interview with each new person that comes in. This interview just kind of lets the person that's doing the interviewing, which would be this person that's on the resident committee, just just jot that down on this form so that that form can go then to the staff. And then they use that all along. I was just talking to several of them at a meeting the other day, and that follows that resident or that person that's there for that amount of time. And sometimes it's a person that's just coming to the first floor from even outside of Shell Point for rehab.
It's kind of a get-to-know you survey.
It's a get-to-know you, and it gives them information of several things that I didn't even think of, information of things that, and even now they're looking at, what are some of the games you like to play, or what are some of the things you like to do on Sunday when it's kind of quiet and you might not have rehab. So that's another committee where they can really use a person to do that.
And then we also have our concierge committees. First floor rehab and the memory care unit, and we're starting a third floor committee now. So concierge do a variety of things.
They do. It's a wonderful committee, and they're always looking for people to come and join them. And the third floor is just getting ready to, and I think we're going to be talking a little bit more about that soon, getting that ready.
Then we have our ongoing. We always have opportunities on two of our committees: our dining committee and our beverage cart committee. Those real personal care committees where you're helping someone eat or you're bringing someone a needed beverage for hydration.
Those are two committees that are always ongoing, and they take a lot of people to do those because the dining committee has so many people that need to be served and help to feed them. And then on the beverage cart, sometimes a lot of the couples like to do that because they can go together as a couple, and it's an open time. It's, there's a big space in the morning, there's a space in the afternoon where they can drop in and do that just so that people can have that extra hydration.
Well, Renee, on behalf of so many, this entire community, because our Larson Pavilion is a skilled nursing facility for all of us, we thank you and the board of directors that you represent, and we thank you for your special work with our chairman and finding out about all these opportunities and sharing them with us today.
You're welcome. It's my privilege to be here.
And I hope that you will listen to what Renee and I have told you. Consider what you're going to do with your summertime. If you have a little extra time, you might want to spend with our friends and neighbors who live in our skilled nursing facility. We have all sorts of opportunities, all sorts of days and times, and we would love to have you join us.
Come and join us.
Please look at the back page of the weekly reminder where we've listed all of these things, and you can take some time to really look at them.
Before we get to today's happenings, we want to make sure you know about tomorrow's Health Connection event. It's a panel discussion with the entire LifeQuest team. That's right, representatives from all 6 dimensions: physical, emotional, spiritual, educational, social, and natural environment will all be there in one place, so you can get all your questions answered about how LifeQuest can bring new levels of wellness to your life here at Shell Point. It happens tomorrow at 1:15 p.m. in the Social Center on the island, and all are welcome. And we also have this note from the Springs, who are celebrating their 1-year anniversary. Rita Southern and her team are always hard at work in the community, spreading the good news of our newest assisted living facility. You can read all about it on pages 26 and 27 of your Shell Point Life magazine. Now, do you know someone who might benefit from the caring assisted living offered by the Springs? Well, here's the perfect opportunity to learn more about it. They are offering a free tea and tour at the Springs to show people firsthand about all the services offered there. It happens next Thursday, April 25th at 10 a.m. at the Springs. To sign up or to learn more about it, call our assisted living hotline at 454-2077. Now, let's cover all of today's happenings, followed by your menus and Village Church connections.
Welcome. My name is Suzanne Zavada, and I'm here for the Happening segment of Shell Point TV for today, Thursday, April 18th. We'll start off at 7:15 with the Bend, Breathe, and Balance Health Connections class meeting in the Health Club on the island. At 8 o'clock, we have the Men's Golf Association meeting out at the Shell Point Golf Club, and we have the Round Robin Men's Doubles Tennis Group meeting at the tennis courts at the Woodlands. At 9:30, the Current Events Group will meet in the game room at the Woodlands. And at 9:30, we have the Ladies Match Play Tennis Group meeting at the tennis courts at the Woodlands. Finally, for 9:30, we have the Paddlers Club meeting out at the Kayak Storage on the island. At 9:45, we have an Introduction to Beginning Line Dancing class in the Health Club on the island. And at 10 o'clock, we have the Do You Know Your Neighbor for the Lifesavers, our medical professionals, meeting in the Grand Cypress Room at the Woodlands. At 10:15, we have basic line dancing, and at 11:15, we have advanced line dancing, both of which are in the health club on the island. And at 12:30, we have a trip, the Beady-eyed beading trip to the Potomac Bead Company. And court pickups will begin at 12:30 on the island, 12:40 at the Woodlands, and 12:50 at Eagles Preserve. Sign up is required. At 1:15, we have the Butterfly Garden Committee meeting in the Butterfly Garden on the island. At 1:15, we also have Mahjong in the Library Lounge and Shuffleboard meeting out at the Shuffleboard Courts. 2:15 is the time for the Computer Club meeting in the Manatee Room on the island. And at 2:45, we have a Health Connections, Balance and Mobility Training Level 2 in the Health Club on the island. At 4 o'clock, the seamstress will be available for the weekly service, and she will be in the Osprey Room on the island. 4:30 is when the Alcoholics Anonymous meeting will take place in the Sable Room at the Woodlands. And at 7 o'clock, we have Pinochle in the Library Lounge, as well as the Trailblazers Bible Study Group meeting in the Game Room at the Woodlands. And finally, today we have Spot, their performance taking place at 7:15. They are performing on the air, and they'll be at the Village Church on the island. Hope you have a great Thursday, and we look forward to seeing you back here for the weekend segment tomorrow.
Menus for Thursday. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter is baked ham with mashed sweet potatoes and southern greens. The dinner special is the Crystal Carving Board for $10.95, and the soup is broccoli cheddar bacon. In the Island Cafe for lunch on Thursday, enjoy a seafood salad on a croissant with chips for $6.95. The dinner special is Thai night for $7.95. Dinner specials in the Palm Grill on Thursday are New York Strip for $19.95 or Salmon Wellington for $15.95. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Hi, Randy Woods, and I'd like to tell you today that in support of the National Day of Prayer, the Village Church will host a community prayer service on Thursday morning, May 2nd, here at the Village Church. Led by Pastor Hawkins, this prayer service will provide an opportunity for our church and the community to pray together for 7 centers of influence: government, military, family, media, church, business, and education. Several leaders from our community, including Peter Dice, Don Stainhook, Lynn Schneider, Peter Nanfelt, Terry Kolath, and Dick Armstrong, will offer prayers for these national and community concerns. There will be a festive community chorus with soloists and instrumentalists as they share special music in the morning. All are invited to come here to the church for coffee and donuts starting at 10:15, followed by the National Day of Prayer community service, which will begin at 10:45 here in the church sanctuary. This is a great opportunity for the church and community to come together and pray for our nation. We indeed are trusting that God will bless America. As I continue, you may enjoy seeing and hearing what others are saying about the National Day of Prayer in this video.
I don't know of any time in recent memory where it has been more important for us as a nation to get on our knees before God and call upon Him for wisdom.
Lord, give our leaders wisdom and guidance, and may our courts rule justly.
Pray confidently, with joy and full anticipation and expectation for our country to influence our culture and our national character.
Use us, God, to influence our culture for you.
The most powerful individual in our country is the one who faithfully prays.
Lord, may we rise up as a people, a powerful force who will be faithful in our prayers.
Let's dedicate ourselves to be intercessors and to be diligent in encouraging others to commit to this spiritual discipline.
In His name, the nations will put their hope. Will you pray for America?
We're glad you joined us for today's show. Tune in tomorrow as we look back at the Volunteer Appreciation Event, which showed that our volunteers are as valuable as diamonds. Until then, this is Shell Point Today for Thursday, April 18th. I'm Jared Pike, and from all of us here at Shell Point TV, we hope you have a great day, and we'll see you again tomorrow.